In my design and copyright video a few weeks ago, I talked about how there's a difference between being inspired by a piece of work and straight up copying something. And I want to talk more about that today. There are two main situations where copying happens. Either you really love someone's style and admire it and want your work to look as good as theirs, or you want to take credit for someone else's work. Now, I can't help you if it's that second reason, because you just shouldn't rip off other artists like that. But if you find yourself either accidentally or on purpose copying work because you really like the style, I've got some advice for you. Copying work can be a great way to learn when you're getting started in design. It's learning by doing, and it's learning by getting hands-on with the tools and trying to figure out how this artist you admire created that piece. It can really help you to learn the tools and explore new ways of doing things. So copying to learn is not a bad thing, but sharing those copies is. There's no need to share your work in these initial stages. Wait until you've got something that's truly your own to put it out to the world. If you share these copies, either accidentally or on purpose, it could look as if you're trying to pass them off as your own, which is not a good thing. It may seem like every single designer you follow shares all their work all the time, but that's likely not the case. When it comes to sharing work online, I definitely believe in quality over quantity. You don't have to share everything you do, just the bits that you're really proud of and are going to help to improve your reputation as a designer. As you move past this copying phase when you're learning design, you can still be inspired by other people's work, but not in such a direct way. The best way to be inspired by work without copying it is to take inspiration from multiple sources and combine them to make something completely new. Here's an example. Say you really like the style of this typography and the color palette of this piece, and perhaps some of the decorative elements from this one here. You can be inspired by all those individual elements from these pieces and bring them together to make something new. And the more different sources of inspiration you have, the less your piece will look like any one single influence. This is really important because you don't want your work to look like someone else made it. You want to start building up your own reputation and building up your own style. Bringing together a bunch of different sources of inspiration means you're being creative and putting a new spin on things rather than just copying. And you're bringing your own thoughts and ideas and impressions of these pieces to the table as well to make something that's truly your own and truly unique. Your own design style will evolve from this, and style, I always say, is something that you shouldn't worry about. You shouldn't try to have a certain style. It's something that will come over time, and it will be formed by all the things that influence you. I did a video with Asante, we filmed it at VidCon together, all about finding your style and what it means to have your own design style. So I'm gonna leave that on a card for you to watch, because it's something that people often worry about, is forming this style, and I think that's when copying happens, is when you recognize other people's style and really admire it and want to try and involve it in your own. But it's not something you should try and force. I promise you it's something that will evolve with the more work you create and the more influences you bring in and are inspired by. Over time, with the more you practice and the more you learn, the less you'll consciously think about your inspirations and where they come from. You'll learn to look at pieces of work you see with a critical eye and pull out exactly what it is you like about them, exactly what draws you to them, and save those elements in your mind in like a little inspiration bank to pull from later on. Then when you sit down to work on a new piece, you already have this inspiration in mind and you can pull from it without referring directly to the piece it came from, which of course will help it look less like the piece and be something more unique. What it comes down to really is, to be inspired without copying, you need to pull inspiration from many different sources. They don't even have to be from the field that you're in. I'm a web designer, but I also pull inspiration from print design, from art, from photography, from music, from like things I see around me, you know, textures on walls on the street. Anything that you see and like the aesthetics of, like how they work, like how they look, you can save that in your inspiration bank for later. Before I end this video, I want to recommend a book to you. It's called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, and it talks about this method of bringing together inspiration from multiple sources in a much better way than I just explained it in this video, I'm sure. I think it's a must read for designers starting out, or even ones further into their careers. I know it helped me out a lot, so I'm going to leave a link to it down below in the description box, along with some blog posts by the author that you should definitely go check out after this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you've got any questions about anything related to this inspiration and copying, please leave them down below in the comments and let's have a chat about it. If you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. I make new videos about design every single week, so please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!